Good morning, people. Derek here. Thoughts to reality. It is Saturday. I want to say May the 10th, maybe. Off work today. I got a lot of tidying up to do. My folks are coming in town, and I wanted to come on YouTube and just chop it up with some of you all. I feel like life for me is starting to get back to normal once again. Ever since we I've moved into our new home. It has been approximately a week since we have moved in, and y'all know how it is. Anytime you're moving, it takes a little bit of time to get everything settled. You're still gonna have some boxes here and there. We did the best that we possibly can do within the last week. And when you have people come over to your home, you want it to look nice. You want it to look tidy. You want it to look borderline perfect, but perfection is not, nobody expects anything to be perfect after a week of moving in. So my parents are very understanding people, and they're going to be bringing a whole lot of stuff for us, a lot of housewarming things, and I think that's amazing, a very, very special, just special thing, man. When people are generous to you and genuinely happy for you as well. Not everybody is looking for your downfall. There's actually people in the world that want to see you better, that want to see you thrive, and that want to celebrate your wins. And going for a walk, I'll be back. Hey, come lock this door. All right. So, how does it feel out here? It rained. Oh gosh, it's beautiful now. Man, it had been raining like for the last 24 hours. It's really, really downpouring, and now it's really nice, real nice right now. Do I have my keys? I think I got my keys. Yeah. All right, so gonna go for a walk. The neighborhood is very, very beautiful. People are nice. You know how it is. Anytime you move somewhere, one of the first things you think about is how in the world are my neighbors going to be? So this guy right here is he was an ex-Marine or something, and he introduced himself to me last week. He's like, listen, if you need any help, let me know. I'm here. I saw him walking the neighborhood yesterday, so that lets me know he cares about taking care of himself, and I think that's cool. So we may have something in common that we can, chop it up with. So haven't exactly talked to anybody else in the neighborhood, seen a couple of people. The first time I started walking early this week, and it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time. So I don't want to blabber too much, making this video any longer than it needs to be, but I do want to prepare everybody out there for the type of content that I'm going to be creating going forward. You're going to be seeing a lot more vlogging. You're going to be seeing a lot more of my family as well, since they're such a big part of my life. I mentioned that on this channel about a month ago, that you were going to start seeing them a lot more. So, this is the beginning phase of that. And let me know how you like the quality of this video. I am recording this on the Osmo DJI. It's like a vlogging camera. I like it a lot. I uploaded a TikTok video yesterday, and it looked beautiful, like a night and day difference between the iPhone, which is very good quality, and this right here. So if you like the quality, comment down below, and we'll keep it going. So let's get into today's topic: aging. Now, I don't know whether it's my algorithm or what, but I constantly keep seeing content that is age related. How people look at the age of 20, how people look at the age of 40, how people look at the age of 60, 80. I'm like, why do I keep seeing this type of stuff? And You know, it just really dawned on me. I said, we live in a time period where, you know, everyone's doing everything that they possibly can to not look old, to not look their age. You know, there are people that are in their 50s that are trying desperately to look like they are in their 30s. I saw a picture of a woman last night. She said, I'm 60 years old. And I'm not gonna lie to you, she looked like she was at least 35 or 40. And I mean, like, nothing was sagging. Definitely had hair dye, possibly some work done to the body as well. People will spend a tremendous amount of money just to make themselves look a lot younger than they really are. And I would see these memes of the cast from Cheers. I don't know if y'all remember the show Cheers, but back in the day with Woody Harrelson, Ted Danson, and I can't remember the other woman's name. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And they would say this is how they looked at this age, like back in the day. Like most of these people were like in their 20s and 30s, and they looked like they were like 45 and 50 years old. And people like to joke on how they looked back in the day, like they looked older back in the day. And I'm like, well, number one, they didn't do a lot of the things that we do now. Like there was no Botox and lip fillers and BBLs and plastic this and plastic that. I think that, I don't even remember when the breast implants become a thing, like in the 90s, I think. But now it's hard to tell what's real and what's not. Well, it's not really hard to tell. You can tell if you got an eye to see, and don't take a professor to see it. But back then, they didn't really try to hide their age. They didn't try to make it seem as if they were somebody that they're not. You see, you can do whatever you want to do to your skin, and you can add whatever body contours you want to your frame, but it does not change this. It doesn't change the mindset. It doesn't change the year that you were born. It doesn't change how old you are. It doesn't change how you feel. I have seen men and women who, you know, try their best to look young, but then you hear them talk. You look at the things that they do, the places that they go, and their age shows. Your age will always show at the end of the day. Like, there's no point in trying to hide it. Like for me, I'll be 40 this year. Said that several times on this channel, but you may be somebody that's new and never watched my content. So, but I'll be 40 years old this year. It's surreal. I remember being in middle school like it was yesterday. I remember being in high school like it was yesterday. Just the fact that I'm about to turn 40 is like, man, wow, that's crazy. But you know, real talk, there's people out here that they're struggling with that. They're struggling with it, like they are really having a hard time with it. And my thing is like, why? Why struggle with the fact that you are about to cross over into the middle portion of your life? Like, think about that. Like, between 40 and 50-ish, that's really like the middle portion of your life. You're not old. Stop saying that, okay? You are not old. Stop it. Cut it out. Old is a mentality. Old is what you make it. Doesn't have anything to do with your age. Now, I get it. Some of you are going to be like, well, what about if you're 90 years old? You're old. I'm like, I would use the word elderly. Mature. When people start saying stuff like, oh, I'm getting old, or I'm getting up there. Right along with that, the quality of life starts to diminish. My grandmother, she kind of started to give up on life a little bit in her late 60s. Because my grandfather passed away not long before then. And I get it. You know, somebody that you did life with for 40 plus years, you know, you just kind of don't feel the same and you don't really want to do anything. But my grandfather wouldn't have wanted her to waste away the way that she did. And she passed away about 5 years ago. And unfortunately, she didn't pass away doing well at all. And I know people who are in their 70s and they travel a lot. They go on cruises. They're moving. They're still driving. All different type of things. We need to start embracing our age, embracing, you know, every day that we're alive, embracing every moment that we have, and just being thankful, being grateful, folks. I mean, I won't sit here and lie that I do have my moments of like, wow, you're almost 40, bro. But then I have to pause and stop myself and say, okay, what does that mean? What does that represent? And to me, it represents a blessing of being alive for nearly 40 years, for being a black male in America, successful. And my definition of success has nothing to do with money, but it is everything to do with the fact that my kids love me, my wife loves me. My oldest son told me a week or two ago, he said, if I ever have a family, you know, I will treat them the way that you treat us. And to me, that is real success. So at this point in my life, I'm just thankful and grateful to be alive and to be able to do things like this, like, you know, go for walks, to be able to make content, to be able to think fast, sharply, etc. And my father is the same way. You know, he's in his 60s and he's still real sharp. He works. He is not slowing down at all. So that tells me, you know, a lot as far as like genetics goes. And yeah. So, but I'm thankful to be this age. And like I said, I still have my moments here and there where, you know, here's an example. Some people who age tend to want to do things like dye their hair, all right? And I go through these seasons of wanting to dye my beard. Now my wife, she's like, leave it alone. There's nothing wrong with it. Leave it alone. She likes the salt and pepper, but me, I like a solid color, and sometimes I'll just kind of, you know, go through these feelings of I'm not ready to embrace this look yet. Like, and I think that's okay. Like sometimes it's okay if you're not ready for it, but don't be ashamed of it either. Like there's nothing wrong with dyeing your hair. If you want to dye your hair, go ahead. But just know that, you know, that's temporary and it does come back. You know, I've dyed my beard in the past. I don't dye my beard. Really the number one reason is because I have an allergy to an ingredient in most of these hair dyes, and it breaks me out. I actually tried to do it a week or so ago. I did an allergy test on my arm, and it broke my arm out. I was like, nope, I'm not doing this, because I ended up in the urgent care a couple of years ago, trying to look young. So I told my wife, I said, you know, I'm done. I'm not dyeing my beard. I'm not trying to impress anybody. And the woman that I'll be spending the rest of my life with really loves the way that my facial hair looks naturally. So I'm just embracing the salt and pepper look. And fellas, I want to encourage you to do the same. If you got salt and pepper coming in, go on ahead and do that. Now, ladies, I know that y'all are a little different. Whatever you feel like you need to do to feel good, you do it. Some women prefer to have darker colored hair. And then there are some of you I've met, man, this trying to get the light right. Shoot, it ain't gonna look right unless I go that way. But anyway, y'all like to have that one solid color. But then there's some of you who don't mind having the silver look, the dark silver, black and silver. Look, I think it's sexy, honestly, with you. You know, that's not something I would have said in my 20s. I'm like, you old. Now that I'm 40, nearly, I'm like, not bad. And that just goes to show that our level of maturity, folks, ladies and gentlemen, it changes. It changes as time goes on. And it's okay. It's okay. Like, we should embrace it. Again, look at the aging process as a blessing, because that's exactly what it is. It's not a curse. It's not a bad thing. Don't let anybody make you think or feel like it is. A lot of people in their 20s and whatnot, they like to say things like, oh, you know, you're old, or your time has come and gone, and blah, 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 blah. Like they're not gonna be 45 years old. If you are 20 and you think that being in your 40s is old, man, you have no idea what you're talking about. Who I am right now, my 20-year-old self or 25-year-old self doesn't stand a chance against me in so many different ways. Levels of maturity, levels of patience, which I'm still trying to improve on. I feel like life is a journey. We don't have it all figured out right away. A lot of the things I say, a lot of my beliefs, what I condone, is so much more deeper and mature at this age than it was at 20, 25 years old. My relationship with God, Jesus Christ, is a whole lot more deeper than it's ever been in my life. And I attribute it to the experience and the time that I've been alive. Thank God for that. So, I know that my journey is still underway. Like, God's not done with me yet, and he's not done with any of you yet. Let's just stop trying to return to 20 years old. Let's stop trying to return to 30 years old, and let's enjoy right where we are right now. Let's enjoy the moments that we have right now. Let's embrace just the time period that we're at, folks. Let's embrace it. You're not getting old. You're growing. You're maturing. You are coming into your own. Acceptance. If you don't find it, you'll be miserable. Let me just say that. If you don't accept the fact that you can't go back in time, you'll be miserable. I made a video months back about a gentleman I know who's in his 50s, and he's really struggling with that right there. He's struggling with his aging process. And he dyes his hair. His beard is darker than mine. I'm only 39. His beard's darker than mine. His hair is darker than mine. I don't have any hair. Lost my hair at about 24, 25, whatever, something like that. Genetics. And he's struggling right now with the fact that, he's in his 50s. So, but yeah, I don't really want to be like that. When I get that age, I want to be comfortable. At that age, I want to be comfortable. I want to be confident. I don't have a confidence issue now, so I doubt I'll have one later. But the whole point of this video, folks, is to, just to get you, ladies and gentlemen, to embrace where you currently are in life. Whether you're 20 or 50 years old watching this, doesn't matter. Just embrace where you are. Do what you love. Find your purpose. And get out here and just enjoy life. Stop focusing on how you look so much. Am I saying don't dye your hair? I'm not saying that. Do whatever you want. Am I saying don't get Botox done? Not saying that either. If that's what you really want to do whatever you want. Whatever makes you happy, it's up to you. But what I am saying is that understand why you're doing those things. Are you doing it to try to defeat Father Time and to make yourself appear younger? And if that is the reason, why? What are you trying to run from? What is it? Ask yourself that question. Or maybe you're just doing it just because you like the look. You like the aesthetic. I don't know. But like I said earlier in this video, it wasn't like that, 30, 40 years ago. People just accepted what was and what is, and that was it. So, but that's going to do it for this video. We are over 21 minutes in, and I've pretty much walked the whole neighborhood. This neighborhood it's not really large. It's a fairly small subdivision. I could probably walk this whole thing in about 15 minutes or less, probably less than that. So that's another thing I want to encourage you all to do. Get out and get some sun, get some vitamin D, enjoy this beautiful day. Oh, it's amazing out here. Gorgeous, gorgeous day. So much better than it was yesterday. But all right, folks, I will see you all in the next video. Comment down below how old you are and how you're feeling right now. I want to know. Let's grow together. Let's do life together. This is Derek with thoughts, my thoughts to reality. Peace.